Hey y'all, it's Katie. Welcome back to From My Vanity. I am super excited to be filming today's video because I'm doing a collab video. I feel like it's been a hot minute since I did a collab, but we're doing one today. I'm very excited and I'm collaborating, as you saw from the title, with Paulina Beauty here on YouTube. Her name, I believe, is Paulina Splunge. I know I butchered that, but I think I got it closer than my first attempt. Whatever I said her name in a previous video, I know I butchered it then, but I think maybe if I just keep practicing, I'll get better. But anyway, I'm going to be collaborating with Paulina on this video, and I'm really excited. She actually reached out to me a while ago and asked if I wanted to collab, and I was like, yes, that's perfect. I've been wanting to reach out to you and see if you wanted to do a collab with me, so it was perfect timing. I was super excited. I absolutely love Paulina's channel. I recently reviewed Paulina's palette that she did in collaboration with Blush Tribe and thought it was absolutely fantastic. You can watch the review. I think it's up here. I had a couple issues, but the actual quality of the pigmentation, the looks that I created, all that I absolutely loved. And yeah, all around, I just really love Paulina. She is super honest, super straightforward. She does wear tests, which I so appreciate. But anyway, if you do not know who Paulina is, I definitely encourage you to go check her out. I'll have her channel as well as her video that she's doing in collaboration with me. I'll have both of them linked down below so you can easily find them and go check it out. And I mean, I know you guys are going to love her because if you enjoy me and my channel, you're going to love her because we are very similar in the way we do our reviews. We give very thorough reviews. We give our honest opinion. She's just all around fantastic, and I highly encourage you to go check her video out and see if you want to subscribe. But yeah, today we're going to be doing a really fun video idea. She actually came up with it and I was like, that's really cool. And actually, so before I get ahead of myself, we are going to be talking about palettes that are absolutely beautiful. Like, we have no qualms with the beauty of the palette and the fact that we are drawn to this palette, but we have not bought it, and we're going to talk about why in this video. And I thought that was a really cool idea. She gave one example, and I was like, you know what? I can say the exact same palette because that is a palette I think is gorgeous, but I just haven't bought it. And so I was like, yes, let's do it. And I, put down my list, and I think I only had like one or two right after I started making my list. And then I was just like, I don't know if I'll have enough palettes to talk about. So like, let me go through all of like the pictures on Instagram I favorited and whatnot, all the posts that I've saved, and let me just think about it. And I sat down one night and just kind of thought about it, went through social media, and I realized like I have a lot of palettes to talk about because there's definitely a lot of palettes that catch my attention, but I can't buy every palette that I find beautiful. I buy a lot, but I can't buy all of them. So anyway, I ended up having a very long list, and I figured we're just gonna go see how long this is and hopefully still make it like a 20-25 minute video and just see how many I can talk about in this video. So yeah, with that long intro out of the way, let's just go ahead and jump right into it so we can talk about as many palettes as possible. Okay, I felt like I should scoot over just a little bit more because I do want to put pictures. I find that more entertaining, more fun. But anyway, the first one I want to talk about was the ABH Prism palette. This came out as a holiday palette, I want to say end of 17, I think it was end of 17, and I remember seeing it and I thought it was really pretty. The one neon shadow specifically is what kind of reached out and grabbed my attention, but I never bought it because the whole palette, I wasn't sure how often I would get good use out of it, how many different types of looks that I would enjoy, that I'd be able to get out of it, so forth and so on. So I ended up not getting it. And then I tried the Bad Habit version of it, which I did not enjoy that formula, but I discovered that I really did like the color selection and I actually wanted to get it. So I was like, you know what, Katie, this needs to go on your list. You do need to buy it. And then it went on clearance at like Ulta and ABH and all that. And then just like that, it was gone. And I was like, oh shoot, Katie, you didn't grab that palette, and now I can't find it anywhere. I see some people show that they see it at their TJ Maxx, and I go to my TJ Maxx every couple weeks or so trying to look for it. I find the subculture there all the time, but I have yet to find the actual Prism palette, and I'm just a little bummed. I feel like that neon shadow, while maybe that was the biggest reason I would have purchased that palette, I feel like it was just such a neat shadow. I would have enjoyed it so much. And actually this past month, I'll go ahead and leave a link up here, I think it is, a video that I did where the look I did in that video, I created it using a dupe for the ABH Prism palette. It's from Prism makeup called Spectrum, and I created that look and I thought it was absolutely beautiful, and it just made me wish I had the original ABH Prism palette so much more all over again. I kind of missed it. So when I did that look and afterwards I was like, oh, this is just so pretty. It probably would have been so much more beautiful, so much more intense if I had the original. It made me think of this video that I was doing. So I was like, you know what, Kitty, you have to mention it in this video. So yeah, the ABH Prism palette would be the first one that I thought was absolutely gorgeous, but I never bought. Okay, you guys are probably going to be tired of hearing me always mention this, but next one has to be the Dominique Cosmetics Lemonade palette because I still find that so beautiful. And you know what? I think I might be breaking down it. I think I have decided that I'm going to buy it the next time Sephora has a sale where I can get like 15. I think I'll get 15. I'm a beauty insider now because I didn't spend enough money at Sephora last year. But I think I'm going to break down and buy it the next time it goes on sale or I have a coupon at Sephora because it's just so pretty. Amy Loves Makeup bought it recently and did a look and she found that it wasn't too bad. And I feel like people were mainly complaining about the shimmers in that palette. And for me, like mattes are kind of like my love when it comes to a palette. I really enjoy really good mattes. So if the shimmers are a little tough to work with, like that's not a deal breaker for me. So I feel like I may still like it. And while I feel like I can probably dupe that palette out in my collection already, I still want it. I still think the palette is beautiful. I still think the colors are beautiful. And you guys know, I never know which way to go. Sorry. I have a lot of palettes. I like collecting palettes. I'm not someone who's just trying to, pare down my collection to only have the colors that I need and not have duplicates. I have so many duplicates. We're not even going to get into that. And I don't mind. Like my eyeshadow collection is just my favorite. It's my favorite aspect of makeup. And I like being able to have different types of palettes. And honestly, like I know you shouldn't collect makeup. I hear people saying that all the time, but like I collect eyeshadow palettes because I love the packaging. And even when the quality inside goes bad, like I still want to keep it because the palette itself is beautiful. So with that little rabbit trail, the Dominique Cosmetics Lemonade palette, the packaging is gorgeous and the colors that are inside that palette look so pretty. I have been wanting this ever since it was teased to release and I think I'm finally going to break it down, but up until now I haven't bought it because of all the negative reviews that I've heard, all the issues that people were having, everyone I was hearing just return it or not enjoy it. It scared me, but I think I just need to go ahead and try it for myself and see if I really do hate it. I think I won't. We'll see. I don't know. So I don't know if this one actually belongs on the list because I kind of do plan to buy it sometime in the future. But at this point, I don't own it. I've been drooling over it ever since it was released. So I felt like it fit. Okay, so the palette that Paulina had, shared as an example of a palette to me when she shared the idea with me was the September Rose Cosmetics Slush palette. And I was like, I can use that too because that is a palette I have been eyeing for so long. I think it is so pretty. Anytime I see it, I'm like, should I get it? Should I get it? And I keep talking myself out of it. And honestly, I don't even know why because I think it's a gorgeous palette and I feel like I would get so many gorgeous looks out of this. It's so pretty. But for some reason, I always talk myself out of buying it. Overall, the reviews that I've seen, I feel like have always been very positive. So I don't know what's holding me up, but that is definitely a palette I think is totally gorgeous and I haven't bought it yet. Next up, we have to talk about the Strobe Creepy Cute palette. I eye this so many times. I know Georgia Harris absolutely loves it and raves about it, and I actually don't own that many pastel palettes. Honestly, maybe none. I know I have eyeshadow palettes that have shades that are pastel in them, but I don't own a dedicated kind of pastel palette, which I feel like the Creepy Cute is. Georgia Harris speaks very highly of the quality for it being a pastel palette, like how pigmented they still are, because I feel like when you get into the realm of pastel, you can get very powdery and sheer. So I feel like I would absolutely love this palette, but for some reason, I just never buy it. Strobe is a brand that I have been wanting to try for a while, and I feel like the Creepy Cute would be a good addition to my collection. It would be a smart addition to my collection, but for some reason, I don't know, I just haven't gotten around to buying it. I think honestly, and not to be mean to this brand at all, because their packaging is their packaging, but I think that one of the drawbacks is the packaging I'm not crazy about. Like, it's cute, and I mean, it totally goes with the name, Creepy Cute, I feel like, but it just doesn't draw me in like so many other palettes that I have purchased and that I own and enjoy. I really am a sucker for really cute, really pretty packaging, and the Creepy Cute is just not my vibe so much, but that's personal preference. I'm not holding that against the brand or anything like that, but I feel like that's one of the biggest reasons I'm just kind of like, I'll get it later. I'll get it later, and I still haven't bought it yet. So I don't know. Maybe I'll get the Creepy Cute eventually. I don't know though, because I have heard a couple brands that I'm following say that they're coming out with a pastel palette, and I kind of want to see what those pastel palettes look like. But who knows? I really do think though that 2019 should be the year I buy a good, solid pastel palette, because I would love to use and explore and try out more pastel looks. They're definitely not my speed. I tend to like to go the smoky route and the dark and deep route, but I'd like to explore pastels. I feel like, 2018 was very much the year of color for me. I'd like to, explore some pastels as well. So I feel like the Creepy Cute should be a purchase I make, but who knows? Maybe I'll buy it, maybe I won't. Let me know down below if you own the Creepy Cute, what your thoughts are on it, and if you think I should get it, because that's one I teeter back and forth on it all the time. The next is the Lime Crime Venus 2 palette, and the only reason I want this is because of the outside packaging. The outside gets me every time. Those vibrant colors, that vibrant neon green, I'm just like, ooh, I want that palette. Like, I think it'd be so beautiful to have. But then it was like the inside was shown, and the greens just look so light. It really let me down, so I just stopped looking at it. But I've seen some reviews for it recently, and I feel like overall it gets pretty good reviews. The greens still are very sheer, and for it being such a large palette, for the inside to look like that when the outside looks like that, it doesn't make sense to me. It's like, how could you make such a gorgeous packaging and then put such lukewarm colors inside it? I just don't understand. I don't know. It baffles me. So yeah, that's a palette where I was excited for a while. Now I'm pretty much turned off from it. Every now and then I'm kind of like, maybe, but I don't think I'm going to buy it, but I want it. And only because of how beautiful the outside is and how vibrant the green is on the outside of the palette. Next up is the Ace Beauty Flair palette. This was launched, and I remember when I first saw it on like Instagram and stuff, I was like, ooh, that's pretty. There's a green in it. I kind of like that. But then I was just kind of like, there's so many other shades. They don't really grab me. I don't need it. And then I saw Angelica Gomez do a look with that palette. She did several looks actually, but the first one that actually grabbed my attention was a blue and green look that she created. Here it is. Isn't it absolutely stunning? I saw that and I felt like my mouth just dropped. It was so beautiful, and I was like, what palette is this? And I went and clicked on the video and I was like, oh, it's the Flair palette. I think I want it now. And she's created a couple looks. I know at least one more, maybe 3 in total. I can't remember exactly, but all the looks that I saw, and whenever I looked down to see what palette she used and it was a Flair palette, I was like, I kind of want a little bit more. That creates some really pretty looks. But the reason I haven't bought it yet, and I think I'm going to be able to stand firm and not buy it, is because I am not super crazy about the Ace Beaute formula. It's just not my preference. So I feel like that keeps me from purchasing it. And when I think about it logically, I can get other palettes that can get me the same looks. And I created a kind of similar look with the Maybe palette that I have, but I don't know. When I saw her looks, I was like, ooh, but maybe I do want that Flair palette. Okay, I only have a couple more. Let's see if we can bust through these without making the video too long. The Black Moon Cosmetics Orb of Light. I want that palette, but I have talked myself out of it up to now because it's an all matte palette with such classic shades. Like, they're still really grungy, which is my love, you guys know. I like grungy kind of mustards, greens, and stuff like that. So it's always catching my eye, but I'm always like, girl, that's an expensive palette and it has shades in it that you have 100 times over in your collection. But the reason I keep going back to it and going, I really do want it, is because of the packaging. The packaging is so pretty. I think it's so unique, being that kind of half circle shape. The outside looks gorgeous. The shades inside look really pretty, even though I don't need it, but yeah, I still want it. This is one I honestly, maybe I will buy one day. Part of me has been holding out because I'm hoping they come out with another kind of half moon, same type of gorgeous packaging, but the inside is something that catches my attention more. But I don't know. I've just told myself so many times, like, Katie, while that palette is stunning, you love mattes, you love those tones, you have so many palettes with those same tones in it. You don't need it, but I still want it. So the Alamar Cosmetics Reina del Caribe. I always try to make it sound good, but I feel like I make it sound worse. I can say it in my head, but if I say it out loud, it's terrible. Anyway, the Volume 2 palette, this one right here, is very pretty, has definitely caught my eye, but I just haven't bought it because I feel like in this palette, there's only like the 2 shades that really capture my attention. It's like, that is actually really pretty, and the rest are just, they're pretty, but they don't blow my socks off. The packaging is very pretty though. It will look very nice next to my other one, but you know, the biggest reason that's been holding me back from buying it? I feel so bad saying this, but I'm kind of hoping it just comes in a boxy charm this year. so I don't have to spend my money. That's kind of what happened last year. I think it was in a BoxyCharm a couple months after it launched though, so maybe they aren't going to put it in this year, but I keep crossing my fingers that it just ends up in a BoxyCharm, and then I get to own it and I don't have to sit there and go back and forth and try to decide if I need it or not, because goodness knows I don't need it, but I want it. So the Morphe 35M Boss Mood Palette, I have gone back and forth so much. I have convinced myself that I'm not going to buy it, but I remember when it launched, I saw it and I was like, ooh, that corner, the greens, very pretty, but I don't need it. I'm not crazy about Morphe formula. And then people started doing looks with it, and anytime I saw someone do a look that was green, I was like, I want that palette. I want that palette. And there was actually one time I was eyeing it. I had even put it in my cart and was thinking about it, but I convinced myself to take it out of my cart because I had to sit there and be like, Katie, you're about to buy this huge palette because you like 4 or 5 of the shadows. That is crazy. Like, there's no reason you need to buy that large of a palette, spend that much money for like 4 greens. Get it together, girl. So I took it out of my cart and I've been a good girl ever since. But anytime I see that palette, I just want to grab that green section and put it in a separate tiny palette and buy that from Morphe. That's how much it always captures my attention, and that's how much I just want those greens from it. But I'm not going to buy it because that's a lot of money to spend on just that little corner quad that I love. All right, so there you have it. Those are all the palettes that I think are absolutely beautiful, but at this point in my life, I have not bought them. Some of them I'm standing very firm on, other ones not so firm, but we'll see what happens in the near future. We'll see what happens in 2019. I hope you guys enjoyed hearing about all those palettes. Let me know down below, what is one palette or two? It doesn't have to just be one, but what is the top palette that you think is absolutely gorgeous, but you just have not purchased, and why haven't you bought it? I would love to hear that down below. Make sure you guys go check out Paulina Beauty and her video that she did. Hear her palettes that she thinks are absolutely gorgeous, but she has not purchased. As I said, all the links will be down below, or go ahead and click this one up here. I'll stick her channel here and you can easily find her recent video. But yeah, thank you, Paulina, so much for collaborating with me on this video. I had so much fun. If you are new coming over from Paulina's channel, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you guys did enjoy this video. Let me know your thoughts down below. And yeah, that's gonna do it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching again, and I will see you very soon in my next video. Bye, guys.